Okay, so just a quick video then to look at processing supermoon images in Affinity Photo. So I went out last night and grabbed my bracketed set of exposures of the supermoon. Not the most amazing view from the East Midlands, truth be told, but nevertheless, I've got the images, so I'm going to go ahead and create a new HDR merge and add those images in. Now then, I've found with these types of images where there aren't a lot of hard edges or details for feature matching, the scale, rotate and translate option actually works better than perspective alignment. So I'll also uncheck Tone Map HDR Image, and then off we go. Okay, so here's our merged image. I'll just switch back to the View tool here to get rid of the Sources panel. And then I'm going to jump into the tone mapping persona. But before I do that, I'm just going to remove a slight reddish color cast from the image. There are a number of ways we can do this, but for this particular example, I'm going to use Apply Image. Okay, so on this dialog, we can choose Use Current Layer as Source, and then we can enable Equations. And in order to give this a bit more of a blue tint, I'm just going to put an expression in here, source blue plus source green divided by 8. There we go. And if we just activate the before and after, we'll see the difference that's made. So I'll go ahead, click apply. Okay, and then we can jump into the tone mapping persona. Alright, so because we're mapping all of the tonal range currently, this does look a bit ugly. So what I'm going to do is bring tone compression down, just add a tiny amount of local contrast, and then I think down here I'll use a curves adjustment to try and hide a lot of that banding. Like so. Also at this point I'll suck some of the saturation out of the image, and let's just try bumping up the brightness. There we go. Okay, so that will do me for tone mapping stage 1. I'll click apply. So I've just said stage 1. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to go back in with the selection brush, select most of the moon's surface. I'll just matte the selection by using refine. Okay, don't actually need to do anything, it's just matted the edges here, so I'll click apply, and then I'll jump back into the tone mapping persona. But useful little feature as well, we can actually turn the marquee off and retain the selection by going to View and unchecking Show Pixel Selection. There we go. So I'll jump back into tone mapping. Okay, and as before, we start out with tone compression at 100%. We want to bring that down, and I'm just going to add in loads of local contrast to really bring the moon's surface out. And then I can play around a bit further, but I'm pretty convinced that's about done. No, I'm just making it too crunchy. So I'll stop there actually, reset curves, and just go ahead and click apply. Okay, so then finally we've got a lot of wasted space here. Unfortunately, my 300mm telephoto lens could only get so far to the moon. So I'm going to select the crop tool, and on the overlay here, I'm going to select diagonals. Then under mode, I'm going to choose custom ratio, and I'm just going to punch in 1 by 1. Okay, so then I can just resize that. It will stay constrained to a 1 by 1 aspect ratio, and I can just match it up with the middle of the moon here. I think that looks about right. And click apply. And there we go. I've got my finished supermoon picture. So, as I said before, it wasn't exactly the most dramatic view of the moon over the East Midlands last night, but I did manage to get quite a nice, punchy looking moon image out of it. So I'm quite happy with that. Do share your own supermoon images, and if you have any questions or queries, please don't hesitate to ask on the official Affinity forums. Also, don't forget to check out the other video tutorials. Thank you for watching.